Now, whether you like or hate The Mandalorian, I don't really care, but you can't argue the fact that it has united the Star Wars fans in a way that Disney hasn't really experienced yet up to this point. So because of that, they're absolutely going to continue to try to capitalize off of The Mandalorian, which is why we're also getting a bunch of other Disney plus Star Wars shows in the future as well, including the Obi-Wan show. And it seems like that The Mandalorian is going to be used to try to continue to explain things that happen in Rise of Skywalker, unfortunately. Now, I think this is really, really ridiculous. I think that you really shouldn't need another separate TV series to try to explain things that happen in your movies. You know, you shouldn't really have things in your movies that are leaving fans going, what? How does this make sense? And of course, we get a lot of that in the Rise of Skywalker. There's a lot of head-scratching moments in Rise of Skywalker. And of course, we saw even The Mandalorian try to kind of introduce force healing early on before Rise of Skywalker came out by putting it in The Mandalorian as well. So this isn't the first time that this has even happened. But now it looks like that The Mandalorian Season 2 might be explaining how Palpatine returns. Mandalorian. Over all things. Like, it's just so random. And this isn't the first time that they've tried to kind of explain how Palpatine returns either. We saw it... I can't believe that I'm saying this, but they used Fortnite to try to explain how Palpatine returned as well. Fortnite. That's right. Not even joking you. You can go look it up if you want to and find out more information about that. But this is coming from, obviously, we got this covered, so it's not really, you know, it's kind of up in the air whether this is legitimate or not, but it sounds like, according to their sources, that in Season 2 for The Mandalorian, we are going to be getting an explanation for how Palpatine returns. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker surprisingly left the explanation behind Emperor Palpatine's resurrection a mystery, but this being the Star Wars universe, fans knew to expect the answer to eventually come out in the some future installment of the franchise, which is just lame, man. You shouldn't need some future installment to try to explain how you're bringing back one of the most important characters ever in the Skywalker saga. Be it in a movie, TV show, comic, or novel, and as per our latest intel, we now know which one of these it will be. TV show. Specifically, the second season of The Mandalorian. Season 1 only just wrapped up on Disney+, but we know that another run is already in the works, and one of the things it'll apparently tackle is the return of Palpatine. We got this covered as heard from our sources, the same ones that told us Ewan McGregor was returning as Obi-Wan back in May, and the young Luke would appear in the Kenobi show, both of which are now confirmed. Still, take it with a grain of salt. That the next season, coming this fall, will shed some light on the villain's return, even revealing who was at least partly responsible for reviving him. Of course, you know, in Rise of Skywalker, they tried to sort of explain how he returned. You know, they had Palpatine say his line about, you know, there are powers in the Force that you do not understand, or whatever he says in there and stuff. They try to use that as kind of an explanation for how he returns, but it sounds like we might be getting a more in-depth explanation for how he returns, which, like, I'm just like, okay, like, why? Why? If you can't even explain it in your own movie, you know, it's kind of in the past now. We don't really care. Sorry. From what we understand, I'm not even going to try to say that name. Moff Gideon will be unveiled as the one behind Palpatine's resurrection. The show's big bad was already established in Season 1 to have been a loyal Imperial officer, with Gideon now commanding his own remnant of the Empire's stormtrooper army. According to our intel, Gideon will soon come across Palpatine's body somehow, which was, you know, blown up in the second Death Star. But apparently part of his body is still around? Okay. And conduct experiments on it concerning both the Force and cloning. The specifics are still a bit unclear, but this is apparently what will bring Darth Sidious back to life, teeing up his role in the sequel trilogy. Which, wow, if they try to even explain Emperor Palpatine's return in the slightest way like this, it's going to just be absolutely moronic and ridiculous. And this just makes the entire thing sound even more stupid. Not even gonna lie. Like, if they use this as the way that they bring back Emperor Palpatine, it like it's just so stupid, man. It's so desperate and forced and doesn't really make Emperor Palpatine really seem that powerful as he really is and stuff. And once again, it just continues to make Anakin's story, his character arc, more irrelevant. The more that they continue to try to, I guess, hammer down on the fact that Palpatine is part of this universe, which, you know, if Disney wants to be smart, they should just leave all that in the past, just move on from all of that nonsense that they put in Rise of Skywalker. But, you know, Disney is kind of ridiculous when it comes to Star Wars, and I don't really think that's probably what they're going to do. As Rise explained, Palpatine has been behind the First Order this whole time, with Snoke merely a puppet. Yeah, sure. The Mandalorian is set around 5 years after the events of the original trilogy, so it would certainly fit the timeline to have him resurrected at this stage, meaning he can slowly start rebuilding his forces in secret before making the First Order's might known to the galaxy a couple of decades later. I really hope that the Mandalorian doesn't do this. Like I said, I think it would be better if the Mandalorian just kind of moved on and did its own thing. I think that it would work much better for the show if they took that type of direction. But we'll have to wait and see. Who knows? Anyway, hope I think that those are laughing faces, right? Excited faces? Okay. Yeah, whatever. And it's kind of funny. There's like, unlike the bad comments here, Rise of Skywalker was a really good movie. They did a great job. Forget the other bad comments. They don't know what they're talking about. I found that kind of amusing as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Go check out my channel, Josiah Rises, as well. I'd greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe there. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.